one of the simplest pieces of advice I can ever give you if you want to help yourself fall asleep is don't fall asleep, fall a dream. In Vedanta, the tradition of extracting the highest revelations of the earliest scriptures called the Vedas, there is often discussion of the 3 states of existence: the waking state, the dream state, and the sleep state. In English, we often say that dreams are part of sleep, but a Vedantin might distinguish sleep as something without dreams, just like the 3 stages of REM sleep in modern medical science. There's a layer where you're basically still conscious. There's a layer in which you're subconscious, exploring dreams, and then there's a layer in which you're unconscious of anything, and that's when you're in deep, dreamless sleep, where the body engages in rejuvenation and healing, and the Vedantins say you are reunited with Source. Sleep is just one end of the spectrum, and waking is other. So to try to go from waking to deep sleep is a pretty big jump. Instead of trying to fall asleep, I recommend try transitioning first into dreams, and then when you are in dream, you will fall asleep later. How do we bring on our dreams? That is the meditation for us tonight. So please find the posture that works for you. If you want to lay down, perfectly fine. This would be the rare exception of a meditation where you don't have to keep your head unsupported to stay awake, because the goal is not to stay awake. Have a pillow, lay down, relax, or any other position that's comfortable for you. If you ever pay attention to an animal that's sleeping, or maybe a baby, or if you've ever slept next to someone and woken up, you might notice that their exhales are often longer than their inhales. You might inhale to the count of 4, but exhale to the count of 8. That can help signal to the body that in each prolonged exhale, you are spending more time releasing the experiences of the day than you are acquiring new ones. Set aside any responsibilities that you wanted to fulfill today. Forgive yourself and trust that you'll do better tomorrow. Take your thoughts about the day and leave them to be processed while you dream. Turn off the logical mind. Just let your thoughts flow without any analysis, without attributing any labels or categories or signs of good or bad to any thoughts of the day. Just let your mind find its way slowly into its natural state, As you do this, you may notice various thoughts surrounding moments of your day arise. You might have conversations replaying themselves. You might see flashes of memes that you were scrolling through or videos. You may hear voices of the people you listened to today. The impressions of a beautiful sunset or the face of a loved one might come and go. This is your mind's natural way of processing the things that we don't have time for during the day, but we do at night. You may have heard of a very powerful instrument of science called the Large Hadron Collider at CERN in Geneva, Switzerland, kilometers below the ground, I believe, just next to the border with France. It's one of the most powerful machines ever made, and the machine turns on for a few years, and during that time it smashes trillions of protons against each other, subatomic particles that make up the atoms at 99.9999 something the speed of light. So much data is being produced, something like gigabytes per second. There's no supercomputer in the world that can process that data live. So, every few years, the scientists turn off the Large Hadron Collider and they redirect all that energy to the supercomputers that begin to process all that data and then finally make scientific discoveries. Your day and night is just the same. During the day, you are like the Large Hadron Collider, making all sorts of new data points and interactions, and it's so much. You see so much per second, you hear so much, you feel. Just like the Large Hadron Collider, it's truly gigabytes per second. You could never process all of that at once. So our universe is just as smart as our scientists, and it has created a faculty within you that rests at night, and during that time you redirect your energy to the supercomputer of your subconscious, and that is the purpose of dream. Knowing this, allow your mind to flow freely. Its programming is very abstract. Ensure that all visions that come, you allow them to persist and then subside when they're ready. Not repressing any thoughts, not holding on to any thoughts, just letting the supercomputer of your subconscious turn on. Imagine that you are like an arrow, and as that arrow, you fly through the world, seeing all sorts of new sights to behold. Allow these visions to come to mind as I describe them. Let's say a beautiful person that looks like you picks up an arrow and pulls back on the drawstring, and then lets go. And the arrow shoots forward, and it takes with it your consciousness. And this is a magical arrow, of course, because you are magical. Everywhere that arrow goes, it never lands, it continues to fly. It soars through the trees, making a bunch of birds scatter. They start following you as the arrow goes higher into the sky. You form the tip of a V for birds who are migrating south for the winter. All the birds are following behind you. You can hear them singing their songs. As you go higher, you start to see the world get smaller below you. You pierce the clouds, and you're surrounded by just white light, fluffiness, softness, moisture. You feel the cool breeze. And as you penetrate the top layer of the clouds, you see the sun and the blue sky. And it's like you're an arrow floating in heaven. It looks like cotton balls, marshmallows, cauliflower beneath you. And you can see all the beautiful shapes that the clouds make as the light refracts through it. And you see on the horizon beautiful shades of orange, of yellow, of red, of pink, the most vivid sunset you've ever seen. And as the magical arrow, you continue to rise higher, and the atmosphere gets thinner, and the sky begins to reveal all of the millions of stars in the night. And you see all your favorite constellations: Big Dipper, the Seven Sisters, Orion. You see Libra, Virgo, Aquarius, Taurus. And you feel like as you get higher and higher, you start to even see all the stars twinkling and radiating their own light, uniquely theirs. And then you come to a point of stillness, where the tip of the arrow is pointed towards the sun, ever luminous and bright, consistently radiating its wonderful low entropy energy. And behind you is the moon, reflecting the sun's light, changing in its phases. Sun represents the illuminating witness consciousness. Moon represents the changing nature of the mind that reflects that consciousness. Divine masculine, divine feminine. And you feel yourself between them. And then the tip of the arrow begins to drop. And you see the world getting closer to you again. You fall again through the clouds. And on the other side, you see the whole world. You see trees, you see mountains, you see valleys, and it's almost like you're flying in slow motion. You see the world slowly getting bigger. You see deserts, you see rivers, you see the ocean, you see lakes, you see houses, you see farms. Everything looks so small, like miniatures, cars, just like toys driving on tiny lines we call roads. You can see the whole world is continuing in movement, slowly but surely. You see your bird friends again. They fly with you again. Happy to fly alongside you. And as you get closer again to the ground, you spin around again. So now that your tail is pointed towards the ground and your tip towards the sky, and you perfectly land in your own hand again. And you take that arrow, you put it in your bow again, and you point in another direction, and you shoot it off again. And you can continue in this way as many times as you want, seeing different things each time. Maybe one time you go to the moon, another to the sun, to Pluto, Venus, Mercury, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Jupiter. Maybe you visit another asteroid or a solar system, an alien world. You can go across the galaxy to a black hole or another universe. You can travel through time, or you can stick to the wonders of Earth, flying to the Eiffel Tower or the Pyramid of Giza. You can see the Colosseum of Rome or Machu Picchu, Easter Island, explore all the wonders of the world. You can go anywhere you want, and that's the beauty of dreams. For now, I leave you to explore your own imagination as you drift into dream. May you have a beautiful sleep whenever you get there.